betting
We on the same
topic,
page.
betting on yourself.
Betting on yourself, man. That's what we talking about today.
Betting on yourself.
That's what we're talking about today, man. Betting on yourself to the highest level, man. And we got a really dope guest coming in a little bit, probably like 10 to 15 minutes, I'm guessing. But really dope guest that like really is like the pinnacle of betting on yourself. And like he's a type of person too that like if I ever find myself having any excuses that like I can't have them when I talk to him because you know what I mean? Like he
Mhm.
had that,
Right.
he's one of them ones, man, for sure.
He is. He's definitely one of them ones, man. Shout out. I can't wait to bring him in. But for now, man, we talking about betting on yourself, man. Like in all regards, like
Right.
to the highest level, man. Like I think.
You talk you popping this. I think you should kick off the conversation, bro. Kind of tell them what you got going on right now, and then just the
Right.
importance of like betting on yourself, bro. Because you betting on yourself in a big way right now in real time. So
Right.
Yeah,
you can hop into it.
yeah. So anybody who isn't aware, we moved to New York as of last Wednesday. Like
Yes, sir.
I've been I've been out here in New York for 5 days
Yeah.
now. Um, relocated from Dallas, Texas. I was out there for 4 years. Came out here to New York. Really, just kind of like I wouldn't say it was a super spontaneous decision, but it was also like it happened rather quickly, kind of thing. And I'm a firm believer in when you set your mind to something, things just like happen to just fall into place, like like and usually quicker than you anticipate. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm at a point in life, like the older we get, I realize how important it is to be fulfilled in life. Like you can make all the money you want, you can have all the people around you, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're not fulfilled, if your cup isn't full every day, you know, what are we really doing here?
Right.
Like I think like um, seeking out of life what you want, like and truly going for it all, because society will feed us a lot of these different things, right? Like I think society often feeds us from when we're young, man. Like we're taught a lot of things. Like we go to school, we get an education. Like you get an internship. Like you get a job. Like
Right.
you elevate. You continue to grow with that job. You stay there for 30 to 40 years of your life. Like build your pension up. That you know settle down and get a house, have about like 4 or 5 kids, live a good life, man. And there's nothing wrong with that life. It's just, I don't know about anybody else. I knew that wasn't my
Right.
life though. Like not my life, man. Like I'm sorry. Um, Not discrediting anybody who wants that kind of life. I just knew that I wasn't going to subscribe to that, like, and so at the end of the day, in order to accomplish great immense things in life, it takes risk, right?
Facts.
It takes getting to, not just getting to the ledge, but like taking that leap of faith. At some point in life, you're gonna have to take the leap of faith, like, and you're not gonna be able to see the bottom, right? Like, like you might be standing on that ledge, and there might just be clouds everywhere, and you
Right.
can't see the ground. Like, and
Right.
at some point, you're gonna have to step out. You're gonna have to step out into like the openness with no end in sight, But I think that's what greatness requires, and that's exactly what I'm doing out here in New York, man. I'm going after everything that I've ever wanted in life. I found myself at the ledge, and I just took that leap of faith, man. I'm like, like at this point in my life, all bets are on me.
Right.
I'm everything that I've ever wanted. I want to win. I want the people around me to win. Um, I want to just be surrounded by like just abundance, man. Like I
Right.
think like that's been a big subject of my life recently is abundance, and so that's where I'm at in my life, man. Like I'm just this is me swinging for the fences, going after it all, making that
Mhm.
full leap into entrepreneurship and truly embracing that and all that it is, the
Right.
good and bad. And just understanding that I got a great supporting cast behind me, like a lot of the people here included. And at the end of the day, we just gonna see how far we can take this thing, man. That's it.
We gonna take it really
So,
far. Like you said,
That's
it's fact, bro. It's crazy, man. Because I think a lot of us are afraid of trying anything new, right? Because we just want to follow that path, right? The path of least resistance, follow the blueprint. But if you look at history, those who are able to like achieve anything of a greater magnitude, those are the people who take a whole new path. Those are the people who created their own path. So I believe for us, especially us that want more in our life, that's something that we have to do, right? We have to take that calculated risk or better than ourselves and just going in pursuit of whatever it is that we want. Because I believe, man, we can always revert and go back to whatever that we have right now. It's always
That's
going
a
to be that,
fact.
in my opinion. But if you don't take that leap of faith and go in pursuit of what you want, at the end of the day, you're just going to regret that. So for me, the fear of regret is so strong that for me, man, like I might as well just do whatever that my purpose, I have that desire to do. I might as well just do it now.
Absolutely. I think you could ask a lot of older people in life, like what the biggest thing that they regret, and is probably not taking more risk, like not taking more chances on, asking that person out, like starting that business, moving to that city,
Right.
whatever the case may be. And to your point, Damian, that's a place in life that I don't want to be
Right.
at point. Like, like on my deathbed, I want to be able to reflect and be like, damn, I lived a goddamn life.
It's a hell of a life, boy.
Right.
and can't nobody take that away from me. Like, I'm like, bro, like I just seen it all, done it all, literally.
Right.
And I'm proud of that, we always talk about living a life worth living, and I think that's just something that we all subscribe to. And I think we're all at that point in life. And so I think taking risks, putting all bets on yourself, there's no better feeling than that, right? Just like to your point, Diamond, we are going to win,
Right.
and it's going to feel so damn good when we do, because it's just like, man, I knew it was going to pan out,
Right.
like I took a chance, I swung for the fences, and shit, I knocked that motherfucker out the park. So,
right.
Man, that's important, man. It's important to just make a jump sometimes. Just try, bro. You know what I mean? So many people don't do things just because they like, I don't know if they're afraid or they just, you know what I mean? Just kind of, like you said, subscribe to like what they think they're supposed to do. But
Right.
at some point, I think in life, like everybody kind of knows what they really want to do.
Right.
Like at some point, you could lose sight of that over time. It's just not doing it for so long. But at some point, you were interested in something that you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, a lot of people just don't at all try. You know what I mean?
Right.
They just don't. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I would say it's a combination of everything. Fear, not knowing what to do. Because at the end of the day, man, everything is a bet, right? If you try something that you've never done before, at the back of your mind, you're always gonna have that fear. What if it doesn't work out?
yeah.
But I believe once it's not going to kill you, man, if it's not going to like fucking ruin your life, give it a shot. Because at the end of the day, you can always, especially for us who are young, I'm sure if I were way older, I'll be more calculated, right? But now at this point in my life, like I have time to still make up things. If God forbid if the worst happened, right? So for us, especially being young, it gives us more time. If the worst happened, if we fucked up, we can always go back and figure it out.
Absolutely.
So yeah, why not give it a shot right now, man? Why wait when you're like 55 years old and you don't have the energy? Like, wait for like Z said, I'm gonna wait for my 401k plan when I'm 65 years old. I can travel the world, bro. Like, come on, you're not gonna have energy. Like, you're not gonna have that energy.
You're not gonna be 35 and traveling the world again. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna still be 75 and bomb, but I'm not gonna be this bomb though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So just going for it. It's hard. Because at the end of the day, it's like we talked about it so many times. It's the uncertain, right? Because you don't know. Because most of the time, everything is fixed. If you go to a job, if you work for 2 weeks, you're gonna get a paycheck. But when you start business, when you try something different, like you've never done before, you really don't know the outcome. Maybe you might succeed, and maybe you might not. And other people, just the fear of like they not succeeding, it just deter them from actually doing it. Because now you are responsible for everything. You're in charge. No one else is coming to save you. So I get it. I understand that fear is there, but at the end of the day, I believe if you have something that you really want to do, you shouldn't allow fear to just debilitate you and just hold you back from reaching out, from just pursuing what you really want to do.
Yeah. And surround yourself with people that's doing it. I think that's a dope thing too, right? Like if you want to, I don't know, get in shape, it's gonna be easier to get around people that go to the gym every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a little easier than people that, you know what I mean, that that snack all day. You know what I'm saying? It's just Sometimes you just got to surround yourself with, what's your quote, Diamond?
If you hang around the barbershop for way too long, you're gonna
You know,
probably end up getting a haircut.
You gonna probably get a haircut,
So
boy.
there's no way you're gonna be out there looking at everyone's coming in with a fresh cut, looking fly, like, God damn, you're gonna be like, you know what? Let me
Like, you
go in
know
there and see
what,
what's going on.
man? Like, I'm bald as hell, but go ahead. Can you get me on the side? Can we touch up the, you know what I'm saying? Just real quick, you know what I'm
just real,
saying?
No,
real quick.
I think it's very important, bro. I think the people you have around you in all aspects kind of like elevate you, or I think the people either like bring you, elevate you, or make you even go lower. You know, because at the end of the day, if you
That's a
surround
fact.
yourself with go-getters, people who are want to do something greater for themselves, you're not gonna be the only one just sitting there not being inspired when all your boys are like going hard. You're gonna be
Yeah,
better. So if you hang out with people who are not doing anything, you're gonna be comfortable. You're gonna be complacent. So surrounding yourself with people who are trying to be where you want to be, I think is very, very important for
yeah.
anything, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I honestly think most people don't want to be dead weight, right? So, like you said, if people around you is moving, most people would want to be involved, right? Like,
Right,
what can I do to, you know what I'm saying, to add my piece to this and
right.
get my piece from this, you know what I mean? So, yeah, bro, I think that surrounding yourself with those different circles, bro, that shit is always big, man.
Yeah, because you know, you talk about peer pressure, right? You always heard about peer pressure, but they're all positive peer pressure, right?
That's a
If you
fact.
hang out with people who drink all the time, go out party all the time, you're most likely you're influenced by their behavior. But if you are with people who are business oriented, working hard, entrepreneurs, you're going to be motivated to get better. So I think just
Yep.
having the right people, that positive peer pressure is important to
Yep.
help to elevate you.
Yeah.
Z, did you have a little bit about that, about moving to New York? Maybe Austin and Kev, maybe being like, yo, bro, just, you should, come out to New York, bro. Like, was there any of that little positive peer pressure for that move?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
It was one of those things like where they had kind of reeled me in. They were like, like we could see you living out here. Like I was like, I could too. Like kind of,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like if you open to it, like we could get a spot together. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like now you talk about language. I'm like, okay, now
yeah.
you put your boy in. I'm like, okay, like Austin would like low key send me some spots. Like, oh, here's the spot I was thinking about, and it's just like, I see what you're doing. Like
That's fine.
Because
it's all.
you made that decision on the fly, Z. It wasn't like planned. You just went to New York for a visit, and then I heard you 2 weeks later. You're like, I'm moving to New York. Like, what the fuck?
Facts.
We had a whole new game plan out here,
Yeah,
John. And Z was like, I'm
yeah,
moving to New
nah,
York.
we
I'm
switching
like,
it all up, man. Now scrap all that other shit, man. We're going to New York. You know what I'm saying?
New York, baby. We going to New York, baby. If you can make it out here, you can make it anywhere, baby. You feel me?
True,
So,
true.
well, I'll make it out there in the spring, brother, because it's cold as hell up there. You know what I'm saying?
Top
Yeah,
four.
it got to be summertime, man. There's no way I'm going to New York this winter. It got to be summertime for sure. Let's see.
But nah, man, I like, yeah, positive peer pressure is important. Like I really do think it is important. Like just like the people that you surrounded yourself are going to be very pivotal in like where you go in life in your trajectory,
Right.
and people who positively influence your life. Like I saw a quote today that like said like work so hard until your mentors become your business partners. You know,
Mm.
and
That's a
that's
fact.
exactly people who motivate you and inspire you so much to the point that it's just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go out and seek out this person because I see them doing particular things that I want to be doing in
Right.
life, and like like are to elevate to, and then all of a sudden, you start subscribing to certain things that they teach you, and that you just happen to come across, and it's just all of a sudden y'all might be at a level playing field now, and it's just like, all right,
Right.
like let's. What do you think about like taking this to the next level together? Kind of
Right.
thing.
No, I think it's true. I think Ray
That's a fact.
might be he joined so that he
What
said
up,
shoot
Ray? Look like
request
Ray just popped in. Request if you
Yeah.
can, man.
Yes,
request if you
sir.
What's good?
can.
What's good, Hanifa? What's happening,
In
man?
the building. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to everyone, yo.
Manifest Mondays, man. We manifesting it all.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's 2023 is almost over, man. It's crazy. Can you believe it?
Peace. We got just over a month, man.
Yeah, a month left to go hard. We got to finish the month this year strong.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Where you at?
1 second, hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Probably shampoo. What it do?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
it do, boy?
Hold on. Let me get this thing switched around. Yo,
There
There
you
he is.
go.
man, what's
There you
poppin'? What's
go.
poppin'? What's
What up,
good, fellas?
baby?
Man, I had to get the kids a little quiz real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
They
quiz them out real quick,
yeah,
man.
man. First what's going on, man? Been
What's up?
glad to
What's
link up with
good,
my
baby?
partners, bro, man. Yeah, I had to give them a quiz. They so every day I ask them like a question. We was listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And at first it used to be aggravating because I'm like, man, kids got 1,000 questions and you can like suffer decision fatigue because you always trying to like answer questions. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn this into a game. I need y'all to research who made this song. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna test y'all. Have pop quizzes throughout the week. So now they coming back to me like, oh dang, they come with pop quizzes and stuff. But it's improving like their comprehension skills and their attentive skills. So they know like them learning something is gonna benefit them in some type of capacity. And so
Not
I can
fun.
see them being happy and stuff or getting stressed out, but it just kind of breaks that anxiety of having a test. So that's what I was doing, man. They back there happy. They about to get some Hershey kisses, so they lit. You know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah, they
good
done
right
passed
now.
the quiz. You know they got the Hershey Kisses coming out. They done passed the
He
quiz, you
said
know.
they
Yeah,
lit.
But I
man.
just
So
want to do a quick introduction for you, man. Big shout out to my guy Ray Wimley for popping in with us today, man. I tell him all the time, he definitely a legend in the making, man. Legend doing legendary things in real time, bro. A lot of big things have been happening recently. I've been kind of, with you behind the scenes on them, but a lot of people seeing it in real time, man, which you've been working on for a while now, man. The topic of today is like betting on yourself, man. And we kind of just wanted to tap in with you because you honestly might be the one that I know the most in life that just bets on yourself and bets on your talent, like almost more than anybody I've ever met. You know what I mean? So we kind of just wanted to tap in with that with you, man. So tell us some of the stuff that you got going on right now and the importance and confidence of just betting on, yourself and your talents and believing in yourself, man.
man, thank you. I gotta follow that up. You know what I'm saying? Man, I can't see Z though. Like it's a black screen. Can y'all see him?
I, I
I
can see
can.
Z.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just see
He's
black up here,
in.
man. Okay, I know he in there. Dang, it must be on me. Y'all got iPhones?
You got an Android, don't you?
Yeah, but see that ain't
No,
got nothing to do
don't
with
let
it.
him.
Cause,
Ah!
cause,
Don't
cause
let
like,
him. Don't
why
let
he
him
do
disrespect you,
that?
bro. Don't let him disrespect you. I got an Android too, man. Don't let him do that.
Yeah,
Hey,
You
Android
understand?
gang, you know what it is.
Apple gang.
Every time there's an Android up in here, there's always issues. Every time.
I
I
agree.
swear, man.
Every time. We swear we do. It's facts.
he said,
Man, stop it.
he
We gonna talk
said,
about that later though. But nah, man, I guess the first part question is like, well, the second I start there, like betting on yourself, I think is essential. Because I was reading a Warren Buffett book. It was like a while ago, and he said the most important investment you can make is yourself. And so I was like, after that, I just kind of like took that to the next level, thinking like, well, if I'm investing in me, I'm getting wise, I'm getting smarter, I'm growing. That means that the character that or the person that I become is gonna add value to wherever I go, right? Because everybody talks about like putting in work in the marketplace, and that's cool. I'm not saying it's not important, but I think the more that you grow and the more that you can comprehend, the more intelligent you are, the more that you strive. I think the world around you start to be open minded, and it becomes, I wouldn't say easier. I think you start embracing the challenges because you have more confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
So the more prepared you are for something, the more willing you are to go do something. But my personal journey started with me out of necessity. So it was like my wife really instilled this type of confidence in me because she was a reader prior to me. So she was really avid on getting on books, real heavy on just consuming knowledge. If anybody told her anything, she questioning it. You know what I'm saying? She listening to it, but she like, hold on, let me go do some research. Not because she was, I mean, naturally, if you live in America, you skeptical. That's just how
right.
we is over here.
Yeah.
But just more so from a standpoint of like, let's really see what this is talking about and let's investigate. And never fail, bro. Every time she investigate, Big Sean said it best. He said nowadays they more into reading the caption into the passion, into the the whole passage. And it's like, dang. So she was already on that. So she kept getting all of these different type of clues and hints about like how success was working. And she was saying, well, you know, if you take time out to really develop your skill set and yourself, then you can be one of these people, because all of the things she was reading was saying this is how it happens. So I just took that information along with my baby that was on the way at the point of time, and I just tried it. And with faith, with having that type of confidence, and then getting that reciprocity, that started the journey. And then you know how it kind of work when you getting a job. It's gonna take about a week probably to go through the hiring process,
Yeah.
and then another 2 weeks to find a job, or really 2 weeks to find a job, a week to get hired, and then another 2 weeks to get paid. So it's really like a month before you get your bread.
Yeah.
But with my baby on the way, I'm like, bruh, I gotta get some paper.
I need it
And if I
now.
can supplement my income, I need it now. It's my money and I need it now. You know what I'm saying? So if I can
877
get
cash
some,
now. You know what I'm saying? I
yo,
need
like
it
where
now.
was they at? You know what I'm saying? Like I got a gripe with them too, but we ain't gonna talk about them, right? But in that process, though, I was like, yo, okay, if I can supplement my income and I can make this amount of money with this in this time period, then I'm willing to like do it. And it just happened, bro. And when you it's weird how humans act when they don't have no other options. When you got a safety net, you kind
Right.
of comfortable. And y'all was talking about that a couple weeks ago. It's like
Yeah.
you would do it, but then you be
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? I got something to fall back on. When you ain't got no options, it's like
Yeah.
your brain kicking an auto drive. I mean, not auto drive, it kicks into like another gear.
Yeah.
Survival
And
mode.
you like, yo, I gotta make it happen. And then that survival mode starts like manifesting things at a higher rate because you on a frequency of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
And so after I did that long enough, I wanted to get out of just chasing things out of like desperation and despair. I wanted to like fall in love with pursuing what I wanted. And then that started me cultivating and reading and started challenging and betting on myself. Like, okay, let me put this theory in real time. So it started with it being a necessity, and then it came to like, if I did this and I achieved all of these things and I got blessed with this, how come I can't go to this level with it?
Yeah.
How come I can't
Mm-hmm.
figure out the next step? How come I can't read this book? I feel like if you can read and write, you can really do
Fact.
anything. Like they was doing everything they could to keep us from reading and
Yeah.
writing. So we can use those skills, then we could do anything. And it just, I know time and time again, it just proved like if you stay consistent, you diligent, you patient, you working at it, you got a team of individuals that's on the same wavelength. It just, why
Mm-hmm.
not? Like, why not bet on you? Why can't you do it?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if y'all remember when Derrick Rose had his MVP year, they asked him, you know, who they felt was like the top runners for the MVP. And he was like, you know, why not me? I work hard.
Mm-hmm.
I grind every day. I'm in the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
practice. He went crazy after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He went crazy after that. So anybody that was around during that era, like it was. So for me, I just consumed those type of things, and then I put it in real time, and then stuff started to happen. And I had to look at myself in third person as opposed to like taking things so personal, because we kind of weigh our successes way. We don't have like a bias. I think we have an unbiased judgment.
Right.
Like you've done a lot of incredible things. You
Mm-hmm.
failed, but you've done a lot of incredible
Yeah.
things. You have to look at it evenly and be like, okay, this is what I've done. Let me look at that, and then let me see if I can repeat it. Okay, I failed. That happened. Let me see if I can repeat the formula, and then go on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of just being practical, being realistic. But I think some people are realistically pessimistic. You know what I'm saying? And some people are realistically optimistic. I think you just got to be there and like the realistic and be like, nah, you really can
Right.
do it. Like,
Yeah.
think about some of the hardest things y'all did. Like college had to be one of them. Going and putting on a festival had to
Right.
be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, getting to this point in life, living got to be one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Come
it's
on, man.
like being black got to be one of them. So we got
Right.
all of those things. To me, you know, not to be long winded, I just think like, why not? So that's kind of like my mindset, and I think that's important to betting on
Yeah.
yourself. You know.
Funny that you say that because, like, P and I, we talk about it all the time. Like, we ask ourselves, the question isn't why; it's really why not. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think when people often,
Right.
for instance, with me moving to New York now, a lot of people are like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, why not? Like, you know, why not
Right.
play on myself? Why not move to New York and see what life has to offer out here? You know, like kind of thing. It's just like we know what we know what life has already been and where it was, you know, like, but like there's so much to look forward to in the future, and there's so much progression, so much life ahead of us, and it's just like we're honestly doing ourselves a disservice if we're not out there exploring, like you said, learning, growing, you know, like I think
Right.
part of life. You know, Diamond talks about it all the time. You know, like if we're not growing, we're dying. We're like plants, like human beings. Like, you know, like if we're not growing, we're dying. You know, and so I think it's funny that you mentioned that, because like I think that is the $1,000,000 question. It's
Right,
not why, it's why.
right. No, I agree. Ray made a really good point about investing in yourself. And prior to starting our business, while I was at work, I knew entrepreneurship is something I wanted to do, and I was really interested in finance and accounting. Bro, I started actually teaching myself finance and accounting while I go to work, because my job as an underwriter is pretty much similar. So I would come home, bro. I would buy books about finance and accounting. I started like reading them, studying them, and now we start a business. I handle all the financial part of the business.
That's
So
fine.
now whenever I have questions, when I talk to the accountant, I'm able to like explain what I want, and the conversation is great because now I understand what he's talking about. And just by me
Yeah,
investing in myself, buying books, even though I wasn't quite there yet, but I was just investing, learning, because I know eventually there was gonna be a time that I'm gonna be doing this work. So before getting there, I actually started just working on that slowly. So that was a really good point that you made, bro. Just investing in yourself.
Yeah,
It can be about it's just simple, man. Just learning, reading, just doing things that are just gonna make you better overall.
yeah. And also what you said, Ray, that resonated with me is when people have to act out of necessity. You know, like when people when you find yourself under pressure, I think that's where like you find your true character. You know, like I feel like that's a big place in life is where you find your true character is when you're under pressure. You know, like in anybody can function and operate when things are going well, right? You know, but when things aren't, you know, things when things when shit hits the fan, you know,
Right,
like it, and you find yourself in stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think that's where you really learn a lot about yourself. How far, you know, like how resilient you are. You know, resiliency is such a beautiful thing. Like when we talk about being human beings were very resilient creatures. You know, like I say that like the human body is a very resilient thing. You'd be surprised at at the things the human body can do when put in particular instances, and the mind is the same way. When you find yourself in those places where it's just like there almost seems like it damn near seems impossible, like there is no way out, and all of a sudden you find yourself crawling out of that hole, you know, like in I think that's the beauty of life, right? Is like, you know, like when you find yourself down, when you find yourself in those situations, I think you learn so much more from the losses than the wins. You know, like at the end of the day, like, you know, like you learn so much more in those hard places in life than you do in those great places, because it's so easy to win, but it's so hard to lose, and to be down and out, and to be counted out, you know, kind of thing. And so I love that you mentioned that, because you did it, bro. Like I mean, like you were
Yeah,
in a
it's
position where
crazy.
you were in a position where you know you had to provide. It wasn't a question of like if, it was a, you know, like
Nah, it
and
was
that's
I have
and
to.
it
that's one
gotta
thing I
work.
wanted to touch on too, man. Is like you know, a lot of people have a lot of different excuses why they're not betting on themselves, but you know what I mean. You got 5 excuses that you could use.
Mhm.
You know, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like you
Yes.
got kids and still bet on your passion. You know what I mean? I remember we had a conversation about, you know, like if you felt like you needed to get a job and you was like, it'll take too much time away from what I actually am called to do, kind of situation. And I was like, man, that's like one of the biggest things I felt. You know what I mean? So like, is this something in you that just knew at a certain point, like this is what we doing? And then what's some of the ways that like it's been panning out, man? A lot of people have, you know, found you in the recent times, man. I think you had 2 videos going viral at
Yeah,
the same time.
Yeah,
it's
You know what I mean?
crazy.
I'm sure it was
Shit.
hard to even keep up with everything
wow.
going on. But what's that been feeling like? Does it feel different? Does it feel the same? New opportunities? What is it? I know it's a lot, but you
And
know.
Oh boy,
let's
feel
out.
amazing.
This boy Ray
It feel
got
good.
some followers.
When somebody say "yer," that's what it feel like. Yes, sir. It
Yeah.
feel good. Like I'm
Yeah,
soaking it all in. I'm on more of it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
don't stop the blessings. That's another thing too. But like back to the one of the first questions, like man, I felt like it was divine. So me and my wife did a precondition,
Mhm.
and we was in Atlanta, and this is when Renee was on the way. She was about a month out, and the people at that time, you know, they took the traditional route, which I have no issue with that. I just felt like that wasn't my particular, you know, path. And they was really in disagreement about me going out and being a rapper, which having a baby on the way, which I get it, right? You know, the traditional rapper nowadays ain't talking about nothing, shoot them up, kill them up, beat them up, steal their mama, kill their grandma, all type of stuff. So I understand the narrative. I felt like I was called to change that. So I was like, you know, I feel like I have a talent I can utilize that can help, you know, some of my black brothers out here, you know, really everyone, but talking to their audience first, because we was the main was suffering at that point in time. And it was difficult. So they didn't agree. And me and my wife prayed for 3 days straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it is meant for me to go on this path, then let it be revealed unto us, and we'll leave it in God's hands.
Mm-hmm.
And the third day, she got a revelation. She got it in a dream, and it was showing her I was supposed to rap. And we didn't look back from that. And so that was kind of like, well, if God is giving you a message, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, why are you looking for man's validation?
That's
Right.
Damn,
You
that's a
know,
bar, bro.
so
that's
you know. And so from that point on, it was like I always used that as like my reference point when everything was low, when things was difficult, when I'm looking for a place to stay, hotel to hotel, trying to figure things out. It was like, you know, that's just a part of the journey. And I was always addicted to reading biographies, and like it seems like everybody that struggled immensely had a turning point when they overcame, and then success happened. So for me, I was always looking at it like, oh, okay, if I'm hit with this, that means that my turning point coming, or
Yeah.
like this gonna be real good part of the story. When
Right.
they read this part right here,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like,
Right.
how he do that? So to me, I would play mind games with myself and be like, nah, okay, like if I'm writing my book right now, the author got hit with sickness. Like Cuzzo helped me out with some bread. I was sick. I couldn't get out the bed to go pack to get the money, right? I was like, well, let me see if Cuzzo can give me some bread. I can pay him back when I go outside to go get the hotel, all of this, right? If I say, man, Ray never got the bread back to cousin on quit on his dream and got a 9 to 5. That story would suck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like that. He made a way. Let's be hopeful. I'm like, no. Ray found a way to go and get his dream, and he got his money
Right.
back to Cuzzo and then some. So I was thinking at it from like, okay, this is a literal story, and we are blessed to be the authors. Now, it's a lot of different things that affect the actual, you know, outcome of it, but I just utilized it to my advantage. And at that time, I had to learn to do that.
mm-hmm.
And I just think it makes me a better writer.
Right.
It made me understanding. And what Z said, like when you losing, or you in that loss period and you trying to figure out how to get not necessarily comfortable with losing, but understanding it, I just feel like you grind and
Right.
you just figure it out, and it makes you a certain type of person. You take opportunity seriously. Like I don't think I would look at this moment as serious as I did or I do now had I not gone through those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's difficult to I don't want to give it up because like, oh, God blessing me right now. Now I'm even more hungry. It's not even overwhelming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's asking me how I feel. I'm like, bro, these blessings on blessings on blessings.
Right.
Like I'm about to go crazy right now. Like, boy, what I went through to get here, oh, it's crazy.
Right.
Like, no, I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all of those things, I appreciated from what it was in retrospect. And then some of the things that I think I can, you asked like what I focus on now, or what's like now I focus on educating myself, because
Right.
this the part of the story that I manifested, but I only manifested, you know, up to this point. So now it's like, okay, what's next? And next is getting educated.
Right.
And so now I've been reading so many different things, so many different ideas, so many different businessmen, so many different perspectives, because I still don't know enough.
Right.
And I don't feel like you ever completely know. But like
Mm-hmm.
you said, you was doing research and you was self-taught, but it got you in the door. And when you get in the door, you're like, dog, I gotta learn this, I gotta figure this out, I gotta use this. So it's not like it stops, it just becomes different.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm adjusting to it by just making sure that I don't suffer from decision fatigue. Because
Yeah.
when you get to a point when you overwhelmed, you're forced to make a lot of decisions,
Yeah.
or you blessed to make a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Right.
your decisions are if you're worn out and you're tired, then you can't make an effective decision. If you can't make an effective decision, then you're at risk for losing an investment. You're at risk for losing an opportunity. So I'm learning how important it is to keep my mind conditioned and get it to a peak state, whether that's drinking like 3, 4 bottles of water a day. I think Warren Buffett said he read like 500 pages. I was listening to Cat Williams, Mike Tyson, Tony Robbins, all of them my avid
Right.
readers. But then I look at the progress that they got from that. And then when I read all day, I feel my mind getting stronger. So like something that would be so difficult to figure out at the beginning, now I could just, I know that. I got the answer for that. Oh, that's quick. Oh, that's easy. So it's like, it's little tactics like that that I utilize to stay on top of everything. And it's just stretching me to become a different person. And I think that's what you have to get ready for when you approach or you get close to your goal or you in your goal is you got to recognize that your growth is really just beginning.
Right.
You feel
Right.
me? Because the stress of a CEO, I can't imagine somebody that got
Right.
a $5 billion company. If it took all
Right.
this to just get viral,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it took all this to
Yeah.
make noise, you know what I'm saying? To finally get some magazine coverage, to get some TV time. Now, what if this for a Drake, this every day for
Right.
him. For J. Cole, this every day with plus
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
How many messages he get in his DM? You know what I'm saying? How many phone calls he get? How many emails does he
Yeah.
get? How many verses does he have to write? How
Yeah.
on top of it does he have to be?
Yeah.
And so it just woke me up to be like, man, I'm getting a peek, or I see the window and I'm looking inside and be like, yo, it's a lot more to this than just getting there.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's
Yeah.
staying there,
Yeah.
but you go through all of that to appreciate it, to be ready for all of that when it do come.
Right.
So to me, it's just like success is a continuous process. Be an avid learner and be excited and be grateful and then celebrate yourself because all successes don't come with trophies,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And I think a lot of people wait for you to get a big moment or wait for the world to say like, oh no, that was your big
Yeah.
moment. When Chance the Rapper put you on his page, man, we did that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
You did
you
that.
know, and you gotta remember like have fun, but then understand like the work-life balance. So that's kind of where I'm at with it as far as staying on top of things, enjoying the success, and just trying to look further into the future than I did because
Right.
now I'm not at if it works
Right.
anymore. Now I'm like, oh dang, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Right.
And when
Mm-hmm.
you know it works, when you got faith like that, you move different. It's maybe we
Yeah.
should set up the LLC. No, set it up. No, maybe we should have this investment. No, get it planned out because next year be
Right.
here. Or
Right.
what if this rapper, he gonna come through? Or if it ain't in that form, it's gonna be in this form,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Man, what if we get this festival and we meet? Okay, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like when it happens, like what are you going to do? So we got to move beyond the starry eyed and be like, oh my, and that's cool to have.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. But today, you get off the line, somebody hits you up, anybody, Andre, like, man, I want to
Right.
get out of retirement. I need a Ramond verse. I need a beat. You know what I'm saying? We need some
Right.
investments. I
Right.
need you guys.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like, are we ready for those? And that's what it's kind of like. And me and Ramon got crazy stories. You know how my life be. It be crazy. Like we was at
Bro,
we was going to
crazy, bro.
I got it. The whole story sound crazy, but you got to be there. So we was at the Spinners and Miracles. If you don't know the Spinners and Miracles, they like Motown legends, right? I was rapping on the block outside the Diamondbacks game, and the music director for the Miracles saw me outside and invited me to go in and open up for the Miracles and the Spinners. And Steve, funny because all these stories I be having be crazy. So that's the homie Steve. Shout out to Steve. So Ramon was like, man, I asked him to come through. He's like, man, I'm going. No question. I got David to
Man,
come. He's like, man, no question.
I mean,
We get fly. We get 60s, 70s, like
boys was
suits dripped
clean,
out.
boy.
We was clean. Like everybody had on the suede brown. It was a good night. So we get in there. We get denied. Something happened. They couldn't believe it. The lady was like, you got to be lying. Ain't no rappers opening up for the show. I'm like, nah, we opening up for the show. Like, I was about to walk away, but Ramon was like, nah, you supposed to be here. You not, nah, like, we getting in. Sure enough, the Miracles and the Spinners hop off the tour bus as we was getting denied. And then we saw Keith Davis that brought us in there and was like, yo, y'all come inside, y'all with me. We get inside, we see this big grandiose stage. It looked like the Temptations. What you said that
I
song?
promise you. That last scene of the Temptations, bro, I promise you, it felt just like that. You know what I'm saying?
It was crazy. And for me, that's my I made it moment because I'm a big Motown fan.
Yeah.
We in
Right.
there
Yeah.
and it was crazy because like they didn't want to put me on stage. The lady was mad, but we was watching the show. We was looking at the lights. We was looking at the veterans. We was looking at like these dudes like in their late 50s, but still got all the dance moves, jumping up and down, it was crazy. It was crazy. After that, because I was like, man, what's up with you getting on stage? We leave. We finna go to the back room to go to VIP section to get on stage. And I'm talking to Cuzzo about another story about how I met, how I was talking to, who was it, Joey Bad, Boy Wonder, Bryson Tiller. they was all in this room. And I was like, man, and it was another dude named Ramond. Now, if y'all know who Ramond is, he like a co-MC. He signed with TDE. As I'm talking to Cuzzo about Ramond, he walks up with ice on his neck.
with
We
the
like, yo, that's
RV
Ramond.
with the RV chain. You know what I'm saying?
We like, bro, that he go right there. He walks up, he shake my hand or whatever. I'm like, yo, I was on your live. He's like, man, I remember you. Tripping. I'm tripping out, but I'm trying to keep my composure at the same time because I can't believe I'm telling Cuzzo this story. And then this dude just walk up. He walk up. He started telling us about like everything, everybody he signed with. I mean, all of the people that he working with. Like, it was crazy. I think he said like Chris Brown and like everybody big in the industry. Then he showed us a video with NLE Chopper. Like, we tripping. But in that moment, I'm like, okay, this happens all the time, right? Like, you can be in a position where like you ask for something and then you receive it in that moment, you know? And if you have it in that moment, what are you going to do with it? So I think my mission now is to be like, when you're deprived of something for so long, or if you never had a sense of success for so long, it's a moment where people pause and they don't know how to like function. And in that moment, it's like, man, these blessings are going to happen. So I really look at it as like being an example of like, man, act as if it's going to happen because it's going to happen. Like, really, really lock yourself in that mindset. Like, that's kind of like my biggest driving point is like, get beyond if. Get beyond if. Please, get beyond that. You know, like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's when. I removed it. I removed if from my vocabulary. It's not if, it's when.
That's
right.
So,
right. You don't resonate with that word no more.
No, there ain't no if in my category. just like Ray removed every cuss word from his vocabulary. If from mine, baby.
No, that's
a good story.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true that I believe once you have faith, your mindset is different because you already believe it's going to happen. So
Shout out
now
to
you're doing
too.
whatever, you're doing whatever it takes to make that happen. But when you like, when you are skeptical, you are not quite sure if it's going to happen or not. And then your energy is a little different. You move a little different. But if you believe it's going to happen, you definitely go in pursuit of that. And also for Ray, though, how do you like balance everything, right? Because you mentioned your family, your wife, music, your social life. Like, how do you balance everything to keep your sanity?
Ooh, yeah, I think it's a work in progress. Man, shout out to Carmez, man. Dude, funny, bro. Y'all gotta go follow dude, man. I don't know if y'all know the homie right there, but you gotta go follow Carmez. I'll be watching all these videos. Dude's hilarious, man. He followed me before everything like blew up and stuff, man. But he doing it big on Instagram and everything and TikTok, man. I appreciate you, bro. But balance, I don't know. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if if it is a balance per se. I think it is.
Right.
I think it's moments of peace that I recognize and I enjoy. So like at this point, I think my answer is like, I know I designate times a lot more than I used to. You know how like you used to just pick up the phone and just chop it up with your homie for? I can't, I'm noticing like I can't really even do that no more.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm going to talk to you about an idea. All right, call me tomorrow at 7. I understand why businesses do that.
Yeah.
Conducting myself like a business versus like just I got a whole bunch of homies and we want to do work.
Right.
It doesn't work for you trying to like have a balance.
Correct.
So for me, I think not just time management, but mastering time and manipulating it in your favor. Because I know that you can do things like if I sit down and I rap, I can write probably like 3-4 songs if you give me like an hour, 2 hours, and I'm just focused on songs. As opposed to me just trying to write scatterbrained every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let me just write here. Like, I think once you start designating and allocating time and you start understanding how essential it is, you can get more done in chunks of time. So I'm with my kids. I turn my phone off. I'm chilling with them. They enjoying dad. We going out. We having fun. If I'm working, I'm working. If I'm downtown rapping, I'm downtown rapping. I try not to really like cross those two. And then I notice like this world constantly feeds you to be distracted and get you all over the place. But if you can figure out how to compartmentalize, that's really the key. And I think we need less time than we think we do to get certain stuff done. And then we need more time than we think we do to get certain stuff done. So if you start designating time and be like, okay, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I'm writing. You get in the writing mode 5 to 6. Boom, you do that every day. then you done wrote for 7 hours each
Right.
week, 7, 14, 21. That's 28 hours you done wrote every month. That's a lot of time dedicated to
Right.
writing. So if you're doing it consistently, you only get faster at it. And you
Right.
start to manipulate and start to understand time. So what I learned was like, okay, once you start developing a skill, it moves quicker the more that you develop it. It starts off slow, but the more that you develop it, it starts to move quick. So the consistency and compartmentalizing time has really helped me a lot. So now once I'm 100% locked in and focused on something and I'm not all over the place, like life is built on a lot of small nuances. Like it don't take that long to wash dishes. They
Right.
annoying, but
Right.
it don't take that long to wash dishes. But if you on the phone, you watching the game at the same time, you chilling with your
Yeah.
partners, it's gonna take like 3, 4 hours. But you're like,
Right.
let me wash the dishes. Okay, dishes done. Let me write this song. Okay, song's done. All right, boom, let me get on this call. Like call done. You can get to what you're trying to figure out. And I notice a lot of the time we not doing nothing. We just venting from the day, from
Right.
how overwhelmed we are.
Yep.
So set a
Right.
time aside for that. Okay, at 10, I'm chilling, I'm venting, I'm talking to my people. We ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing no work. So I would say compartmentalize your time and take that serious,
Right.
and then get the most that you can out of your time. And then once you start perfecting that, you can start putting everything else around you in order.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
people are gonna come to with you ideas. I noticed like soon as I blew up, everybody got ideas. Everybody want to work. And then I'm attacking it. Like, I want to work. I want to work. I want to work. But then I get tired out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back to these people. I know it hurt me because I just saw something real big, but I'm gonna get back to to these people on Thursday. And then I spent all Thursday on emails.
Mhm.
Boom, emails knocked out. I gotta write all these songs. Well, I'm gonna just do Tuesday. I'm gonna just write all my songs on Tuesday. Dang,
Yep.
all the songs done. And so I noticed like once you start compartmentalizing and chunking time, that's when you can get the most out of it and balance. You know.
That actually was like piggybacking off of that. That was actually going to be my next question. I was going to ask you if like there's like a method to the madness. Like like do you have like a scheduled like on these days I'm gonna be downtown rapping on these days, on these days. Like do you have a schedule or routine, like, or is it kind of just like you like just like fill it out as it goes? Like what does that look like? Is there any method to the madness at all?
I got certain principles that I don't evade. Like it's certain things I do every day. Like me and my wife got to talk every day. That has to happen because we are directly involved in each other's life. Me and Ramond, we talking pretty much every day, right? So when I'm learning is like okay, reading, prayer, spending time with my fam, that's every day,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I would say like I pick times where it makes sense because it's okay to change your approach if it's not
Yeah.
working. I've learned
Right.
I've learned to do that. That's okay. Like I
Right.
want it to be like every day at 6 o'clock I'm writing, and I might not
Right.
get to it at 6 because I was out till 3 o'clock last
Mm-hmm.
night. Now if I can get to it at 6, I can. But if it make more sense to punch in time here, then I punch in time here. So I say what I'm consistent with is looking at my approach and constantly changing it to get to what I want.
Yeah.
Right.
That's more so what I would say is how I go about balancing my life. Things are going to happen in life. It's just
Right.
life. Life be life,
Right.
and all of the time. I was gonna go outside yesterday, but it was a storm.
Yeah.
Dang, I couldn't get my money. Okay, but I still said I was going to rap. My goal was to make money. Okay, now I got to change it to do an Instagram live. Let me put these 2 hours over here. So like I have a plan for the week. I got more like a map,
Right.
and then I
Right.
leave that little X variable
Mm-hmm.
open
Right.
to be like, okay, if something happens and it throws me off my rocker, then this is going to kind of be like my adjustment period. And that's how I notice a lot of businesses win. Like if
Right.
you still trying to like, they was talking about like the record industry, or they talking about a lot of artists don't want to like deal with TikTok. If you're not dealing with TikTok, you're not scaling no
Right.
more. So you got to look at life in that kind of way. Okay, this is going to work for a period of time, but how I handle 50,000 followers ain't gonna be how I handle 140,000. The show ain't gonna be how you handle 1 million. So
Right.
you
Right.
have to change. So I would say I would focus on being comfortable with adaptation and
Mm-hmm.
learning, and then
Right.
always finding a way to not shortcut but expedite things. I think that's more so when I'm in leveraging. So to answer your question, like the method to the madness is constantly trying to figure out the best approach. That's me
Yeah.
because like I said earlier, what I did here just got me here. But
Yep.
Right.
I gotta be wise to be like, okay, what I need to do to get me there, I have to change something around it. Keep what's
Yeah.
working, but then be comfortable with changing the approach as much as you
Yeah.
can.
Right.
Bro,
Absolutely.
one of the most interesting things that, whenever we talk that's different than, when I talk to most people, it's kind of like your how you think about monetizing your passion, like monetizing it specifically. Most people, we think of like doing something for 2 weeks,
Right.
waiting and then getting paid after the 2 weeks or after the month or weekly or whatever. And you know what I mean? You put in this time and you wait and then you get paid. But you know what I mean? You kind of created a lifestyle that's like I can really go get it whenever I need to. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, nah,
Right.
it's really dope though. It's really dope though because it's like it changes like the mindset of like I have to subscribe to this thing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and for
Right.
you to really know cap on what you can make and offer your passion because you do it in a way that I've never seen
Right.
somebody do it before in real time. And so what's kind of like your idea on that, like on like capping what you can build? Because I'm sure that's gonna move into other types of businesses too, right? Like there's no cap because you're not used to like having to wait that long to I put in this time for this amount of money. So what does that look like for people that's looking to just monetize their passion in different ways?
Man, that's again, I think it goes back to being willing to change the approach because people see me in this stage, but I had a job since I was 9 years old. So like I was working in a barbershop, sweeping up hair, getting $10 a week, and saving that, trying to get like some Air Force Ones, man. You know what I'm saying? So like
$10 a week,
it
boy.
went from
That was, you know what I'm saying,
about
10 weeks, baby, for
40
the
a month.
pair.
You know
You
what I'm
know
saying? You know what I'm
what
saying? I was like, man, that's 40 this month. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no bills. I'm
I'm
nine.
saying?
You know what I'm saying? $300 in your pocket and like you got bread. For me, it was like, I well, um, okay, I had this experience with the workforce and I understand it was only gonna get me here. And then me getting laid off of my job was probably the best thing that could have happened because I saw other forms of income and I wasn't afraid anymore to go experience it. Because everything works in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't always I can go to the block and make money. That wasn't the case. It was kind of like it started with like $30, 35, and 50, then it progressed to like 60, 70. And when you like responsible for your own income, you gotta make ways to have growth. And so what I learned about having that type of experience, like that street level hustle, is all on you. Like maybe your speaker bad, maybe you in a bad location. So it's like maybe during those times and processes, I was always constantly adapting and changing to get income to come at a faster rate. So I guess my way of having income, of being attracted to me in that manner was like stuff happens so fast. Like you go from being an employee to immediately being a boss. That
Mm-hmm.
sounds attractive,
Mhm.
but what comes with that
Yeah.
is a lot different than what people think it entails.
Yeah.
Cause like I have to make
Yeah.
money now. Like I
Yeah.
have to
Mhm.
make money
You have to
now.
go out
And like
and get it.
you gotta go out and get it. But what the advantage of it is, it's like, oh, people make money in all type of ways. Like I didn't know McDonald's is like the number one real estate company, one of the number one real estate companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they was just flipping burgers. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, oh, they making money off real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go down a block and I see somebody tap dancing. Homie just made $300. Then I go to the casino. The casino, they making money because people drinking at the casino. Then they spending their bread all day. Then you go inside, you see the sandwich man outside. He hustling the sandwiches. You feel me? Then you see the dude, my homie Manny, on the block chopping up fruit. So it's like you just inspired by all of these different passions,
Yeah.
and you just get. They say iron sharpen iron. And so I got comfortable in understanding, like, you know, Nipsey Hussle said, turning up my hustle, I give myself a raise. So I always felt
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, like if I want to make more, then I got to be willing to expand.
Right.
It's really just being willing to be uncomfortable and then understanding that like it's gonna take time before it happens in any field. Like
Yeah.
what people see now is a not even a finished product, but a better
Right.
product
Yeah.
presented. But it's not. It wasn't like, man, it was some days that was rough, dog. It was some days like I couldn't go to the block. Like I said, I got sick. Or it was some days that like it rained. It was some days where
Yeah.
like rent due. You know what I'm saying? Some days that like babies crying. You know what I'm saying? Man, I done missed like football games, like where I can make like $1,000 and I got there late. Somebody got in my spot. So I guess like
Mm-hmm.
you once you put in the forefront of being like in a position of a boss, now I understand how companies can downsize like that.
Right.
Like your job don't really have security as much as you think unless you investing into the overhead and you understand how it works. Because if AI takes over and they got this spot that was once producing, or they had to spend so many thousands of millions of dollars, but then they can put that back in their pocket, they're gonna send out them pink slips quick.
Right.
Be like, well, we got somebody that's in the position that could do this better, or sorry, your time has been good. So for me, I just got to the forefront of that. And when you start to understand that money comes off growth and growth comes when you grow, that means that anything is liable to change. And so you got to stay active and proactive. You got to learn, unlearn,
Right.
and then relearn.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You have to. And that's just
Right.
how you survive. If you don't, you just not going, it's just not going to work in your favor long term.
Right.
People have to get comfortable with evolution. A lot of people get bitter, they get
Right.
mad. I was a dude back in the day. It ain't back in the day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, homie? This is my day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
it's one of them type of things. So I started to look at it from more of a perspective of, oh, okay, I have to be willing to learn new things, invest my time in new things, and willing to take chances quickly. Oh,
Right.
somebody talking about Bitcoin, let me try to learn as much as I can about it right now. Okay, somebody talking about AI, let me try to learn about it as much as I can right now. They got free classes. I look at it like school. All right, this was last semester. Now you a sophomore.
Right.
All right, now algebra compounds, it builds. Let's build on what we did last year. Is this level? So look at your hustle like that. All right, boom. All right, I got in the door. I got my job. Now I'm investing. Now I want to get a property in real estate. All right, boom. I got real estate. Now I'm thinking about doing shirts. Okay, boom. Now I'm thinking about shirts. Now I'm thinking about opening another company. Like, we're going to need classes. We're going to need tutors. We're going to need mentors. Like, I recently went back to, they got this mentor program, or not a program. They got these businesses that's going to be doing classes Friday and Saturday. I'm going to perform up there. And she was like, would you be willing to do that? I'm like, yeah, you going to put me in a building with a whole bunch of entrepreneurs that got years of experience? I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? So I'm looking at it like, oh, okay, like it's more of a school to me. And if you approach it from a point of like, I'm always learning, then you can look at it more than like I'm always surviving.
Right.
Like, no, learning comes with not knowing it first. Then you get good at it, then you grow that. So that's how I always say, if you're trying to like go about income, it's not really where you start. Like you was telling me about your credit. Somebody hipped you to the credit game, you got it right. Okay, anybody can do that. But a lot of people, I'm obsessed with human performance. A lot of people don't just apply it. And that's kind of like where it comes down to. Like, you have to be willing to understand you going into territory you don't know how it works. If I knew how to be a millionaire, I would be one. Right?
Right.
I don't know how it works. So I need to be learning how this game go, and I need to be open-minded. Once you get there, you're like, oh, I can learn. Then that's when it feels like with the viral video, bro, I was like looking at everybody that was blowing up, and I was looking at like the captions. And I didn't want to do that because I'm like, man, I don't put no captions on my, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the way I want it to happen. But they like, it ain't happening. Like, look at it. Like, you got here, but it ain't happening. Like, man, okay, let me look at some of these people that's been successful before me, and let me try to apply what they doing on their Instagram and TikTok. So I started getting obsessed with like just putting captions on my videos. All right. The first time I do this the first time. So crazy about this. ASU rapper freestyles. Now, freestyle rapper outside of ASU, and this happens. I posted like Wednesday night, and I'm like, yeah, this might go viral. I had already posted it before,
Right?
But I'm like, it ain't had no caption on it. Same video. It's the same video. I posted again, and I just put the caption on there. Boy, did it work. And I'm like, wow. This piece of information that I was not willing to utilize, that I was so resistant against, that I didn't want to apply, has got me here. That was like, dang, okay, what else have I not applied that can get me to another level? So that's where my curiosity lies. And everybody has something that's in, like, if he never picks up those books, if he never does it, we don't have this conversation. We're not talking right now. So that's where I would say, what is it that you know you should be doing, that you know you could do, that you're not tapped into, that's like awaken that potential. That's more so what I think it comes down to. Apply.
That's fire, fam.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Apply it. Like a lot a lot of people like, you know, if it were easy, everyone would do it, you know, like, and I think often, like, you know, like living that hustler's dream, the hustler's mentality, you know, like out there, you know, truly building your own business. If it was something that everyone could do, everyone would do it. Like, you know, like it's that simple. But it takes a certain resilience, it takes a certain grit, it takes a certain breed of person in order to like step into that version of yourself as well. You know, like I'm big on that. Like you know, like in at the end of the day, you got to understand, you got to have that faith in yourself. You got to have your faith in something much bigger than yourself. And at the end of the day, you got to take that leap of faith. Like, you know, just like I was talking about earlier, you know, like when you get to that ledge, at some point you're not going to see the bottom, but at some point you're going to have to step to that opening and just leap, you know, at some point, you know, like it's not going to be easy, you know, like, and you're not going to see the bottom. You know, you may not have a parachute. You might just be falling. You might be free falling. Like, I'm just. But at the end of the day, you got to be. That's the extent you got to take things. Sometimes you got to be willing to do it in order to really figure out the best things in life, and that's where, you know, the closer you get to ground, the more, you know, the more scary it probably gets and everything like that. But at the end of the day, man, like you got to be willing to take that leap. You know, and I think a lot of people are just, you know, there's a lot of fear, a lot of fear of failure, fear so avidly, you know, like I'm a person, I'm genuinely, we're probably similar in saying I'm obsessed with growth. Like I'm a very objective person. I just know that like I have to be working towards something in my life in order to feel like my life has meaning and has purpose. I got to be working towards something. Like that's just how I function. That's how I operate, you know. But stepping into that abyss of like entrepreneurship and just like, you know, like building my business and that hustler spirit, I ain't gonna lie, it was scary, you know, like you know, like I ain't gonna lie, like I've been a person, like I've subscribed to that idea of security for so long, you know, like I've been in the corporate world for so long, you know, like, but at the end of the day, I know it's not fulfilling, you know, like I know it's not, you know, like, and at the end of the day, the older I get, the more wisdom we acquire and stuff like that. I realize, like, at the end of the day, if you're not happy, if you're not fulfilled in life, if you feel like your cup ain't half full every day, something's wrong. You know, like you gotta change it. You know, like and that's why I'm you know, I say all that to say that, like, Ray, I'm joining your club, man. I'm joining the Rays hustler, baby. The Rays Hustlers Club.
Fire that job, Z. Fire that job, Z.
I'm firing that job, baby. Out here in New York City.
Bro.
And Ray also made a good point though, right? Because he said he posted that video before, and then it didn't work, and then he tried again. It's just about, you know, being consistent, right? Trying to pivot a little bit, right? If you try one method, if it didn't work, that's the whole process about learning and unlearn, right? You try something different, doesn't work, you try again. But most of the time, when you try something one time, like, fuck it, man, this didn't work. It didn't work. That's not
it's funny.
right?
Ramond and I, we were just talking about this. Like, there's so much content that we've probably only posted once in our lives, and we just a prime example was that Day One's video with Ramond in it. Like, you know, like all the nicknames, you know, like obviously, like, you know, like that, you know, he obviously the king of nicknames, but it's just like fun. It's funny, like we had only posted it one time, and it's just like, you know, like everything is content. You repost the same exact post, and it's just like, damn, this shit kind of got some numbers. Like
the next day,
right?
Like, the next day,
easy. Like it's just,
it's like when my bad. Go ahead, finish.
No. I was just gonna say you got to be willing to try things. That's
Absolutely, it, man. You have to.
It's like when Craig fought Debo. You know what I'm saying? It is though, cause I'm silly, bro. It is like when Craig fought Debo. Like
he said, "I'm silly." That's nuts.
I'm a man. I'm a man.
He's a mess, bro.
I'm waiting to see how you connect this point, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like he was getting beat up real bad. Like it was like no chance. Everybody was afraid of him. It was a bully like the whole time. Nobody stand up to him. Then he served something, you know, bigger than himself. And he went to go protect the old girl. He got knocked down a plethora of times, like throughout the fight. Then he picked up that brick. You know what I'm saying? He picked up that brick, dog. You know what I'm saying? What is your
that capture was that brick, huh?
it was the brick. The caption was the brick, dog. To me, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's your brick?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gonna let life continue to be a Debo, or you gonna go pick up a brick?
Go get you a brick, man.
Go get you a brick, dog. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a brick and then knock your bullies out. That's how I feel about it. Like, I really feel that way. Like, man, sometimes like it is scary. It is crazy, but everything has a weakness, man. Everything has a strength. I feel like you just go into it and you gotta understand as you grow. I think what we be afraid of, and we start to like really observe it and research it more, and we grow understanding with it. We don't have the same fears we did, and that's kind of like where I'm going. Like it's been something in life that we've been afraid of, like, and then we've overcome. Just think about that in your life. Like, what was something that was so incredibly difficult for you to do at first that you do on a consistent basis? Maybe performing, right? For rappers, like I was terrified, like going on stage, like in high school, and dudes was rapping and they was freestyle battling, and they looking at me. I'm like, I'm not about to jump in that. I'm not about to do that. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm known for freestyling. You know, so it's like constantly testing, like, okay, it was something in high school, or maybe it was something when you were little, or maybe it was a bully, or maybe it was something where you was like, man, I'm sick of it. And I think we either change. A lot of people wait for a crisis to push them to change. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait to that extreme because we have emotional thresholds. So I think certain people, they haven't experienced enough pain to change something. So but when we get through a certain level of pain and we sick of dealing with it to where we can't tolerate it anymore, then we start to apply different things. Or maybe it can be an eye-opening experience, like when y'all went to Africa. It was kind of like, you know, Ramond has not been the same since he's came back. He's like he's realized a certain purpose. He's picked up certain information, certain spiritual guidance, certain revelations from being in a certain energy and a certain aura. So to me, it's like, I just think about all of the times I was afraid to do something, but I went through it anyways, and then how I was on the other side. And a lot of the times it don't be as crazy as you think it is. You know, it's challenging, but it's not doable. So I just feel like, what's your brick? You know what I'm saying? What are you really gonna like the corporate world? In the corporate world, and you got to think about it, man. Being in business long enough, the corporate world, you know, they market. They need employees. They're going to sell you this idea that they need that you have to work for them and you have to be around and you can't survive without them. Like they have to. Like they not gonna be like, man, go walk over there, just work without them, you be fine. You become competition at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if they know you're intelligent and you got an opportunity to make something happen and they can see that you're one of the best workers in the company. Oh no, we can't let him go. He's gonna go out there and go crazy. So to me, it's kind of like I look at everything from more of a perspective of like when you jump in that business world. That's, to me, understanding how business works. You understand your role in business. Nothing is wrong with being an employee as long as you have a plan. Nothing is wrong is like, you know, having money coming in from a certain place and then you invest in yourself and make something work, but just be working your plan. That's how I look at it now. Like growing older, it's like, man, just work your plan. Make sure you got a plan. And then once you study whatever the antagonist of your story is, whatever, and it's like in every storybook, bro. Like I love Goku, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I love like he just be about it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody goes, oh my gosh, no Kakarot, you can do this, and he be like, man, let's just do it, guys. You know what I'm saying? That he overcomes like times he gets oppressed all of the times, and he goes after it. But then I also like Vegeta because he instills the work ethic discipline. Like he's always like it's like Kobe Bryant than Vegeta. Vegeta might actually work harder because Vegeta trained that hard. You know what I'm saying? To me, and it's like, okay, I just pick up certain things from these type of experiences, and that's kind of what it is, man. Like, but moving forward, what makes the jump a lot easier is information. Like, because you can have blind faith, but that's not a requirement. I think that was something I thought that was a requirement to like be, you know, led blindly. But God gave you a vision, so He gave you sight. So if you have sight, then you can get information on how you can navigate it at least. So it's not like you're going to be blind. And I think that's what people are more afraid of is like they don't know. Well, go know. I don't know how business works. Go find out. I
Right.
don't know who I should connect to. Go figure it out. I don't know where a
Right.
mentor is. Go find one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to get money. Figure it out. Like these
Yeah.
things are figure outable. They're not like these mystery or esoteric concepts that have to be so distant from you. Like you can figure that stuff out. And that's what you got to lock in your mind. Okay, whatever I want, I have the ability to figure it out. That's the confidence I'm talking
Right.
about.
Yeah.
But are you really trying to figure it out? And
Right.
sometimes pain does it, and then sometimes want does it. So that's just kind of like what I think about it.
No, that's real, bro. I don't want to hold you too much, but I had one like a big question that we was all kind of talking about. How important is it to have ways? A lot of artists I feel like never figure this out. How important is it to have ways besides just the music that people can support you? You know what I mean? I think that's really, really, really important, and that you've done really well is just have other ways besides just buying the music
Right.
that people can support you. And what are some of those ways that some people might in here be able to go support you right now? Because I think so many people in business, like especially creative
Right.
business, they create the art and don't figure out other ways around that art to you know what I mean, to be supported. And people want to support.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So how important is that? And then what are some ways that you set up?
I think it's extremely important to have uh 7 streams of income. I think that's just like the standard if you want to be a billionaire.
Right.
Like consistently, like you gotta have different streams of income. And I think you gotta look at it from just a business is not like this evil thing that's going to consume the artist and he's never going to be able to create. Like actually, when you become more business savvy, you give yourself more of a space to create.
Right.
Right.
You know, once you have enough money and income, once you figure you can sit down and not have to worry about struggling. I think that's another thing I had to recognize too. Like I don't know how they sold to us as an artist, man. I just think like when we was fed that an artist is supposed to be like ignorant of the music
Right.
business. You know what I'm saying? Only work all day, like on songs. And then it's nothing wrong with leveraging and having people handle everything else for you. I think that's a part of growth.
Yeah.
Like you said, like when you studied it, now you got an accountant, you know accounting, so now you
Right.
can like navigate that easy.
Right.
But I think just changing your idea of what you think, what does it look like? You know what I'm saying? And for me, I kind of start there. Like I always looked at it like this is a business and it's a creative project and projects need funding. It's a creative project and projects need funding.
Right.
So with that being said, how can I fund this creative project? And how much time can I allocate to this project? But what my strategy was to make sure my skill was phenomenal. Because I think what people before we talk about like I think you got to focus on the main product. Like I worked really, really hard at rapping. So my initial strategy was like, I want my rap skills to be undeniable.
Right.
Yeah.
And I already had an advantage. Make sure a little man straight. I had an advantage because I was always just rapping anyway. So I was like, man, I'll make sure my rap skills are like phenomenal. Like, so I'm gonna work really hard at that. Then once I put my product on the market, it can compete.
Right.
You know, because people are gonna come to me like if a sandwich tastes good, people gonna eat it. So now once I got the product prepared, I can put the product on the market and it's going to sell. So once the product is good and it can sell, then my next strategy is now it's selling, people are going to talk about me. Now, how do I monetize that? Okay, well, I need to cultivate other skills. Now I need to get booked for gigs because I'm doing the same thing. It's essentially,
Right.
I'm still rapping. Now I'm
Right.
just going to rap outside the stadium. Now I'm just going to rap at a gig.
Right.
Okay, now I need to figure out, can I rap about, and I know y'all see it now, like people doing, they rapping about NFLs every week.
Right.
Like, okay, dang, let me just figure out how to, with the NFL going on, look at the spreadsheet, the numbers, who winning and losing. Okay, now I'm about to make that a hustle.
Right.
I compartmentalize everything like a potential business. I'm getting into weddings. Okay, that's a wedding circuit. Now I need to figure out who's on the wedding circuit. But what I'm doing every day is rapping. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't change.
Right.
And I think once you make a business based off an extension of something you already do, you're really just organizing places to insert yourself to do the same thing in a different capacity.
A different
Okay,
way.
what am I going to put on a t-shirt? Me rapping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, I'm about to sell juice. What is the juice consisted of? Well, I know when I rap, I need to have a lot of hydration. So I can market that product and it's not ingenuine. Like it'd be real. Like, okay, y'all,
Right.
if you're thirsty, I'm gonna build a product around what I already know. Like we was at the art studio the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense. This dude was a videographer. He knows exactly what videographers need. Okay, now we need to put a studio together for videographers. He's going to have a competitive advantage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He knows the business already. He knows what somebody needs. So I think when you're talking about making money and products, I think we all got a unique talent that we already tapped into. Like you're doing executive producing, you know, but then you also into making music, but then you also into setting up shows, right? But then you also rap, you also perform. That's four streams right there, right? But they don't feel like it's not you. It's just extensions of who you already are, and you're just figuring out how to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that's the key of having things and how people can feed into you. Like a GoFundMe is a source of income, but guess what they funded? For me to go rap. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just like everybody talk about like a funnel. What is your funnel? What are they ultimately leading it back to?
Right.
And to me, then it's gonna lead it. Okay, well, I want to be a teacher, and then it's already clues out there. You know, success leaves clues all of the time. Like Lupe Fiasco, he's teaching rap. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
We gonna go to that class.
Right.
You gonna pay money. You gonna see that. You know what I'm saying? If Lupe say I'm gonna teach you how to break down metaphor, he gonna go to that class.
Right.
You know how many people now he getting a college check? Then he can go leave college and he can go get on stage. He can get paid to get on stage and rap.
Right.
Then after that, he can go do a podcast to talk about rapping. Then after that, he can go back to school the next day and put all of those experiences back into showing you this how his metaphors work in real time.
Right.
So if you're gonna build a product, just making an extension of something that you already do. And I think it becomes easier. Like it don't have to, like, I don't know real estate. I would love to get in real estate because at some point I want to own a record company. So I need a building. So but at that point in time, I will have enough capital and enough bread. Like you were saying, sometimes your dreams are so far out and so grandiose that you got to understand what timeline you're on. I understand what timeline I'm on before I invest in bigger things. And it's probably going to take me like to really get real estate. I don't believe in quick money. I believe if anybody good is something that you need to study it, dog. If it's really foreign to you. So that don't really seem like a good investment to just jump into something that you ain't really familiar with. That just, to me, that ain't wise. So I'm looking at it from a long-term aspect of things that I am interested that's going to take time to study. And I look at the short-term aspect of stuff that's around me that I could do that's just an extension of what I already do. But figuring out a different way to serve it is like, how many ways can they cook chicken? They got baked, they got fried, they got chicken pasta, they get still chicken.
Right.
So
That's
you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it.
You can boil it, broil it,
Grill it.
fried, baked. Nah, fact.
All right. So for all the people who are in here right now, Ray, how can they like go and directly support you right now if they wanted to?
Man, I'm about to go do a live right after this. Y'all come hop on that live. I'm about to go be freestyling and rapping
Come on.
for another 30 minutes, so y'all can catch me there. And right now, I'm downtown with it. So for people that's in state, if you want Phoenix, y'all can catch me outside in any activity, basketball, football. Football, yeah, they got a couple more games left out here. I'll be traveling a lot outside of all of the games, per se. Then you can go support Woke. You feel me? That's streaming on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? We got a single that I believe about to get some play in the Milwaukee Bucks arena. So I just gave Cuzzo the news today. So hey, you know what I'm saying? We up from here. You know what I'm saying? We got that popping off. I got t-shirts on deck. I'm about to put some on Etsy people can buy. And stream, support the music. I still sell CDs too. So like a lot of stuff is gonna be online. I got a website, go to raywimley.com. It can fill you in on what I got going, what I'm doing, and then always check my Instagram and it's gonna update exactly what it is. And I'm for hire. So yeah, they can support me in a plethora of ways. But go to my website, raywimley.com. And I think that'll talk about everything.
Absolutely. So here's a $1 million question that I have for you. You know, like you dropped a lot of gems. You know, like obviously you got a lot of knowledge, and you've shown that you're not a hoarder of knowledge. You know, you like to up and whatnot. But hoarder. So you ain't keeping it.
I hear him. I hear him over there. I hear him.
But for Ray specifically, like what's what's your like end goal? Like what's the big goal
Right.
that you're working, where it's just like, all right, this is where Ray Wimley is going to be, you know, by this date, or like whatever it is. Like what's that major goal that you have for yourself?
Um, household name, a brand. You know, like Snoop Dogg
Yeah,
would probably be the best example.
yeah,
Like
Right.
like in that not, you know, like a household name. I think about any artist like that's a brand. You know, character on TV, all of that, movies, uh, playwright, signage, like wherever we going in the future, metaverse.
Right.
I don't really know the limit, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I might be performing. They say they got a outer space hotel in the next couple years, 2026. I'm trying to like get a gig on that. And so I don't know.
Right.
So I think my overall goal is like I don't really have a I don't know if I have a limit per se.
Right.
From as far as a success cap. I don't think it is one.
Right.
As far as like for what I want to do for people, what I want to be cemented in their subconscious and mind is like, you know, man, if you got a divine purpose and you walk in that, you don't have to submit to the ways of the world to maneuver. I think that's
Right.
kind of like my biggest thing. I want to be the example that like, man, I didn't have to do that.
mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, man, I didn't have to mess around. I ain't have to like go this way. Like it's this narrative that I want to break. That rappers have to like do. You know, to be like, I mean, you gotta drop that. You gotta drop this
Right.
song, and you gotta do this thing real quick, and you gotta do that thing real quick, or you gotta go this route. I want it to be like, no, it's an example that you don't have to go that route. You can do it the way that you destined to do it, and it's gonna work out. So that's kind of what I want to leave a legacy behind. All of my music is going to entail that, like, nah, follow your intuition.
Right.
I think it's your biggest compass.
That's
Right.
it.
You feel me?
That's
And
it.
that'll get
Yeah.
you what you trying to, where you trying to go. Don't conform.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Even with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope, bro. I feel like I love the story, man. Very inspiring, even for us, even for me right now, man. I'm inspired, right? Because it's just like seeing somebody like same color and everything, going full force on their purpose, having a lot going on, but still making time. It's just like inspiring to us, to every one of us, man. If you have a talent, if you have something in mind, don't just be afraid. Take a bet on yourself. Do that, like Zenas, man. Move to New York, right? Start whatever you want to start. It's
Mm,
hard. It's hard, but at the end of the day, if you believe in it, if you have divine power, just go in pursuit of it, man. Because at the end of the day, nothing is saved, right? Even that
Yeah,
9 to 5, you can still get fired. So why not bet on yourself and go
absolutely,
off full force? I
absolutely.
love it, bro.
And life is short, man. Life is short. You know, that's why I'm gonna be the first subscriber to Raise Hustlers Club, man. Raise Hustlers
Come on,
Club.
man. Let's
I'm
get
the
it.
first
it might be
subscriber,
an
Ray.
online course like playing, man. You might have to like, it might be another idea right there.
Yeah.
Because he doing this to
Fire,
chin here, so he got an idea.
Right, right,
fire your
right.
job with Zenas and Ray. You know what I'm saying?
Fire job.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Love
already,
it.
man. I'm about it.
I love
I'm about it, fellas,
it.
man. But I do got a question for y'all. You know what I'm saying? If it's one thing that y'all would like to see change in the music industry, that you can be a part of, what would it be?
That's a good question.
To me, I think this just the overall pay structure, man. And I'm not like so I come from the artist side of things, right? And a lot of times, the concept is the artist got like played, right? Like and that's usually what
Mm,
happens. But it's something that they signed at the same time too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the education needs to be there
Right,
because the truth of it is, if an artist makes music and nobody sees it, it's not going to make money either, right? So there is value in the people that help see it, right? But I think that needs to be more of a partnership than just some 90-10 splits, or, you know what I mean? They own your masters. And I think the
right,
structure of it needs to change in the sense of like partnerships. Like you said, like you said something earlier that I was really listening to, and you was like, we were sold something as artists, like we almost like employees. Like
right,
they find us, they hire us, and they put us on. Like, nah, if you come at it like a boss, you think about like, how do we partner to make this make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where I would want to be on the side of like helping build those, like Jocelyn in the comments said, those new concepts, that new structure, things like Nipsey Hussle and Lil Russell was doing, man, like building new structure to make that art make everybody win in the situation. You know what I mean? That's what I would say.
I mean, I'm not an artist, but I would say for me, it's just more positivity, right? Because most of the time when you listen to music nowadays, gang banging, shoot you, killing one another. But I would love to see just more positive image out there from like the music industry for sure.
Yeah, like my answer is pretty much like a piggyback off of both of those answers. Like I think education is the major way to change anything in life. You know, like information is everything. And in order to change the future, we got to start with the youth, right? You know, like because they are the future. You know, and I think creating a particular creating new narratives, you know, like and whatnot, like, you know, we really truly are kings and queens in a lot of ways, and we really need to get back to embracing that. Not this tearing down, not this black on black violence, like none of that stuff, like really get back into creating positive lights and images, you know, for the youth, for the future, for everybody, you know, because being in Africa, man, it was beautiful. Like Africa was a life altering experience in so many ways. And honestly, like that might be something that like I'd want to contribute to as well. You know, Ramond and I, we talked about this, like, you know, Ramond talked about creating like a bridge, like, you know, bridging the gap between like musicians and like their roots, like, you know, like their ancestries and stuff like that. I think that would be something that's really, Africa is something that everyone needs to experience, but specifically Black people, that's something that like everyone needs to experience truly, you know, because seeing ourselves in that image and in that light and the level of humility and the level of culture and just community, like how much they embrace one another, like how much they embrace us, like, you know, like that's something that's truly powerful, man. Like, you know, I never felt so welcome, so empowered ever in my life, you know, like than when I came back from Africa, man. And so I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's something that a lot more artists and people need to be connected to is their roots, and like, you know, like really being truly bought into like what their identity and who their identity is and all that stuff. And you don't have to subscribe to these false narratives. Like, you don't have to be a thug, you don't have to be a gangbanger and all this stuff to be, you know, like a true king, you know, or queen or whatever. So I think that's a big thing, you know, that I be a part of, just in creating like new narratives for the future, you know, especially in the music industry, because we need it.
Absolutely.
New narratives. That sounds like a title or a movie or a book or something. New narratives. New narratives. That just sounds like $1 million. That's fine, man. I'm glad y'all welcome me on to this motivational talk. I'm blessed to be in this space, man, and be able to converse. I'm thankful for y'all, you know, allowing me to share and open up, you know, the information that I have and that y'all value it. You feel me? To look at it in that light, you know, and it validates me. And the reciprocity is crazy, because it's one thing to be doing something, but then when somebody goes to the level of, you know, being curious as how your formula works, is even more profound, because it's like people really admire it, and they look at it from I just be doing it. You know what I'm saying? I be in it and I understand it while I'm in it, but like to share it and pass it to somebody else, to be like, oh, these questions, y'all. Oh yeah, this is that. Nah, this is that. And oh no, I discovered that. You could do that. And it's just and then hearing you guys is, you know, answers and what we could be a part of, is it let me know like what we have is in front of us. You know, what we have is in front of us, because I ain't betting on myself to lose. About to win. So like we are the new narratives. We are those, you know, and I that's what I'm taking away from this conversation. Like, you come back in a year, what's this conversation? What is this going to look like? You feel me? And so we have every opportunity to. It's one thing when I was like, dang, when I was looking at like Cole and like Drake and like Jay-Z and all of these rappers, and they doing it big, and it's like, man, like at one point in time, I felt like I was so far away. But then look up and you get closer, or like a big leap happens. You like, man, like, but I'm putting in the perspective that like these ideas that we conceptualize and we have a very real time opportunity to make that happen. So I don't take those words y'all talking about lightly, like
yeah,
at
exactly.
all.
Like
No, 100, bro.
If it's out of our vocabulary,
it's when, like, man, we're gonna make it happen.
We step into that light, when we step into the full potential of ourselves, you know, like it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
He said we step into the full potential of ourselves.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, that's another book. Z, come on, man. What's going on, man?
he got the title.
Come on, he got the titles, don't he? He said the full potential of ourselves. I don't know if that's. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Unleash the full.
Hold on, but hold on. No, he think I'm about to take notes. The full potential of ourselves. That sounds like a class, don't it? That sounds like the next topic. That's what y'all need next week. The full potential of ourselves. Like he got like a little white coat on. You know what I'm saying? Have like the beginning, like a little monkey or whatever. Be like, you know, to play with people. Like they said, this is where we started from. But our evolution is serious. The full potential of ourselves. I can really see that, bro. It's weird. You know, is he a character? I saw the video, man, the 1990 video. I was obsessed with that joint. Y'all was going through like all different type of rapping. I didn't know that was he in the back. He was so hyped. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But then I met him in person. You know what I'm saying? He was just cool. So, man, it's great to meet you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I like what you do. You inspire me, bro. And I was like, man, that's why I appreciate you, dude. And then I was like, cuz, where your DJ at? He's like, Z? That's him right here. Come on, man. Right here. It's like him? You know what I'm saying? And then they switched it on me, bro. They got Superfly. They came out like he was in regular mode. You know what I'm saying? Cool. They was dressed down white. I don't know what it is about them boys from Denver, boy. They get clean. They came out smelling good. They had the cologne. We about to go to a steakhouse real quick. You know, we made reservations, $200 steaks. You know what I'm saying? They in this fly. They giving me the praise, but they was in this super fly Airbnb, bro. It had like a little golf, I think, thing in the back. Had like I had like 5 rooms. You know what I'm saying? It was
pretty
swag.
nice.
No, it was swag. Pretty nice is like. It's 2 rooms, you know what I'm saying, in a good neighborhood. It was swag, you know what I'm saying? So, the full potential of ourselves. I'm about to really
unleash the full potential of ourselves. I love it.
That's crazy. Full potential of ourselves.
Co-author Zenas.
It's not a book. All right, now hold on, bro. It's not a book yet. It's not a book. No, it's not a book. It's not a book, Z.
There you go, Z.
It's not a book.
It's not a book. It's not a book. You know what I'm saying? It's not a. Hey, you heard it here first. I was just letting you know the full potential of ourselves and new narratives. I don't think that's out there either. Because you say it's not if, it's when.
It's when.
Yeah.
New narratives.
You got the bars.
New narratives. They got it's newnarratives.org, but not .com though.
Okay.
But not .com though.
You know what I'm saying? So it's .org.
Get the domain, purchase that.
I'm trying to let them know, bro. I'm just trying to let them know. And it's a global nonprofit organization, collaborative newsroom that brings donor funding together, building and support independent newsrooms. It's a lady in Africa, in West Africa, Justice Report Project.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's called New Narratives.
It's in my neighborhood.
It only makes sense.
Man, it's your brick. This I'm trying to tell. That's all I'm trying to say. This is brick. You know what I'm saying? This the brick, bro. This the brick, bro.
Right there.
That's crazy. He just handed the brick. Hey, go ahead. Do what you will with that.
Hey, I gave you the opportunity, man. I gave you the brick now. You know what I'm saying? Now, man, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. I want to do these more often. I want to. I don't know if y'all opening that for certain guests to come on. If y'all, I would love for more people to come on and just chop game with y'all, man. Cause y'all, I'm talking about some high level conversations, man. I think it's this needed. It's make my Monday night. You know what I'm saying? I'm in I'm in the right place right now. You feel me? So
So
I feel
Every
now we
I
appreciate
got kids. I don't want to leave.
you being a part of it, bro. We appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, taking the time out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm sure a lot of people in here, you know, was able to take stuff from that, man.
Right.
Like I said, you a trendsetter, man, and you know what I mean. I feel like, you know, you're gonna be one of those new dudes from the new wave that really changed some
Absolutely.
things, man. So,
yeah,
you know, it's always dope to have those types of conversations, man. So
yeah,
for sure, we appreciate you having out, man.
Yeah.
yeah. To
Hey,
the
nice to
Dang,
meet you, brother.
name, that boy
man.
Ray,
Likewise, man.
Yeah,
What'd you
absolutely.
say, Z?
See,
that new household name, Ray Wimley,
that's
man.
a go.
Come on, he's gonna be a brand.
That's a go.
Yeah, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Don't nothing bad sound about it. It sound good.
And
You
everybody
know what I'm saying?
here, I think you said you going live right after this.
Dang, you know what? They don't have to catch me tomorrow because Didi gone. She in there with the kids. I was because it's 8:43. But hold on. I'm gonna see. I gotta change the approach because we've been in here, you know what I'm saying? It's a new narrative now.
Yeah,
New
Check
Hold
narrative.
check
on. So
his
we
page. Check his page if y'all don't know
let
who
me see
Ray
how much
is.
time I
He's
got.
probably the best freestyler I've ever seen in my life, man. I've never seen nobody mind process things the way he does in
Right.
real time, man. So
Right.
you know what I
and
mean.
don't done,
And I'm still underplaying it,
Right.
man. So you know,
That's
tap in
right.
with Ray, man. Tap in with Ray Wimley.
And this
You
come
know,
from an
follow.
Andre 3000 fan.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Come on,
saying?
man.
That's
Hey. Hey,
that's crazy.
Three Stacks is my favorite rapper of all time. I don't think he could freestyle with you, bro.
Wow.
He even said it. He even said he's not really a freestyler. He can't freestyle with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. To even be in that comp. Wow. That's
Mhm.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
It's like
even
that.
hyping it. Not even hyping it.
He said not
Yeah.
even hyping it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You see how many Ray the goat comments was was I was
Sure.
like saying something. That's saying
That's,
something.
yeah, that's
Man,
a lot.
that's crazy. One thing when you like thinking it to yourself, when you like just playing, I can be the GOAT, I'm gonna be the Gary rapper said that the greatest.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a rites of passage. You a rapper, you gotta say you're the greatest at least one. You done said you was the greatest at least one time, or you're going to be the greatest one time in one of your
For sure.
rhymes.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
One time.
You know
When
what I'm saying?
somebody says that you actually got a shot, or you are what they've ever heard in life, nah, that that's a different type of receiving moment right there. You feel me? Because I really work hard at the craft. You know what I'm saying? I really be freestyling with it. So like for and these are again these hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying? They listen to music, so they not just saying it. So no, that's blessings, man. And them rated goats. They want me to battle, man. They want me to start like you know what I'm saying, going against people. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but
Keep
nah, man. I
keep
appreciate it,
doing it
man.
your way, man.
Yeah.
Keep doing it your
Like,
way.
yeah,
You know
gotta
what I
do
mean?
it your way. It works. So yeah, do it your way, man. You're blessed.
Well,
Well,
man.
all right,
Yeah, man.
fellas. We
All right.
appreciate you again, Ray. I appreciate
Right, man.
y'all fellas, everybody for tapping in, man. The full episode is gonna be on the Spot Podcast page soon. So appreciate everybody popping out, man. And
Oh,
you know,
we got
appreciate
Fruit
you
Orleans in the
tapping in.
building, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we're
get
gonna
my
be
homie
back next
Manny in
week.
here.
We're gonna be back
Okay.
next week, every Monday, man. Tune in,
Every
guys,
Monday
7
we back.
p.m.
We back, man.
Yeah.
So
All right,
Man,
y'all.
blessings, man.
All right, brothers. Y'all
all
take
right, y'all.
care, man.
Right.
That'd be good.
Be safe.
Yeah, we